Here we go. Okay, hey, it's we live. Twitch, say hi to YouTube. YouTube, say hi to Twitch, guys. You know, round two, U.S. Masters, greatest tournament of my entire life. OTB. So first round, if you was following, if you haven't seen it already, make sure you go good look at round one. But the first round, I actually played um Elson Gamagami there, and I beat him. So I beat a GM round one. I'm feeling hype. I beat a Grandmaster round one. This is December 2022. Not too long ago, right? So, of course, I win now. I win the first game, and then I get paired with another GM. And here we go, right? So this is the game. So this one is called Magician, right? Oh, this guy I played him a few weeks ago, OTB Rap. Yeah, he's very strong. This one's called Magician. So after I beat one GM, they send me to another one. Saber on, let's go. E4, Sicilian, another Sicilian. Knight of 3, D6. D4 takes knight f6. Okay, and I'm like knight c3. I played knight orf for both sides, so I was waiting for a knight orf here, but I know he likes to play knight c6, so he played knight c6, which is a Rister Rauser type variation, or if you go bishop g5 here. Now me, I'm an aggressive player, so I'm gonna go for the aggressive stuff. So I go bishop g5. He goes e6, right, and then queen d7. This is all theory. Bishop e7, castle queen side, a6. And this is still theory from here, guys. So in fact, I mean, this is gonna be like more of a maybe not a shorter video. I mean, still a lot of moves in here. A lot of moves actually. I mean, not a lot, but 30 something. But it was this is all theory to say the least. A6, F3 is a move, right? So I play F3. Knight takes D4, Queen takes B5. The plans are very easy, right? He's gonna castle kingside most likely. Sometimes they go queenside, but of course when you go B5, you're not really trying to do that. So I'm trying to just launch everything. This is very fun. Like, it's very easy to play. You just launch everything, but you do need to calculate because black can get an attack. So I go g4, h6, bishop e3, and he goes e5. So it was an inaccuracy. I go queen d2, and then here we go, b4. Now, here's a critical moment. And all this is very quick because, like, these are just moves. Again, like, if you miss it, like, easy, e4, c5, knight f3, d6, d4 takes, knight f6. They hit the pawn, you defend it. Right, they either go knight or for knight c6 here, usual moves. Knight c6, Rogers type stuff if you want to go bishop g5. It's called the classical Sicilian. I actually have a win and a draw over the board with this opening from the black side. So bishop g5, e6, queen d2. I'm trying to castle queen side. I castle queen side. f3 supports the g4 push. Also supports the e4 pawn. Takes, right after the takes move. b5, he wants to get the early counterplay in. Brandon Jacobson is a grandmaster who actually plays this a lot from the black side with early queen to c7. And I think he goes bishop d7 first. But this was a different line here. So after b5, g4, he goes h6. I back the bishop up to e3. Why e3? Because if bishop f4 there's e5. Bishop h4 is not the greatest. Sometimes you run into knight takes e4 tricks at some point. This is not the greatest here. Bishop e3 sets up to take on h6. Also helps with g5. And I also want to play queen d2. So this is why you play bishop e3. So e5, he hits the queen. I go queen d2, right? And then he goes b4. Critical moment, white to move. Where do we put the knight? Do we go knight d5 or do we go knight a4, chat? What do you do? What do you do here? Knight d5 or knight a4 or knight e2? Shoot. Right? Or knight b1. Bruh. You tripping at that point. But, of course, knight b1 is a possibility. Where do you put your knight? a4, d5, e2. What do we do? Bach Ray incoming. Thank you, Caleb. Appreciate it. Knight e5 messes up your pawn structure. After takes, so knight a4. I like a4, says Blake Nasser. Soap Man Lost. Thanks for the follow. What's up, Big Bach from the block. Big Bog, hey man, make sure y'all go get his Chessable Course D4 Nimzo, right? If y'all like Nimzo. I mean, yes sir, that man Bach. Shout out to him. Yo, mine about to drop, actually, Bach, by the way. Let me just put this out since we here. Since we here, yo, Tim Cannon, thanks, bro. Yo, Bach, my Meanest Jobava, my Jobava London course is about to be sick, bro. It's about to be sick. I've been working with the engine. Oh my goodness, it's insane. It's pretty sick. It's pretty sick. So, shout out to you, Bach. Bach got a Chessable Course. Thanks, bro, for that. For the raid. So, we're going over U.S. Masters games right now. This is round 2. This is the greatest tournament I've ever played. And, like, I played 4 GMs. This is the second one. We went over the first one. where I beat Gamagami in the first round. Beat him with the white pieces. He accused me of cheating. Go check the YouTube video out if you haven't already. Go check the YouTube video out because the man accused me of cheating after me winning in the first round, right, against the GM. Second round, I get paired with another GM. We're covering that right now. So, what do you play, chat? 90, 94, 95, right? 92, knight b1. 94, bishop d7, knight b6 at some point. Correct. Correct. Knight a4 actually is the move, chat. Knight a4 is the move. But this is what I didn't play. And the reason why is because after knight a4, rook b8. And I just was kind of annoyed, and I never knew how I was getting this back in the game. Excuse me. I'm a fan of activity, initiative, being fast, attacking. It's going to take a while to get this back in the game. In fact, Engine says, let me see. Engine says best moves are b3, so I can put the knight probably back this way, which is too slow for me. h4, which is cool, but then the knight is ridiculous. I actually lost the OTB game. I remember actually in a previous tournament with the black pieces because I had a knight on a5, and it was just hard getting it back in the game. I had to go b7 and d8. It was disgusting. So that's just not I'm not a fan of that. Knight a4, and he goes rook b8, and I have to figure out what to do. Now, number 2 on the engine was knight to d5, which is what I played. They didn't like this, but from a practical standpoint, hey, it's whatever. I understand. The knight d5, we're trading, and trading pieces does help black a little bit, but I have space on the king side, and I'm asking him, where does his king go? You can stay in the center. I'm not going to trade queens, but if you castle king side, there's going to be some attack on you, right? So after knight d5, he takes, right? Do you take with the pawn, or do you take with the queen? Do you take with the pawn, or do you take with the queen here? It's a very, very important question to answer. Do you take with the pawn, or do you take with the queen? So he takes on d5, right? Playing his GM. He takes on d5. He takes d5. You take with the pawn, or do you take with the queen? You got queen takes. Liam says queen takes. Big Ed says queen takes. Immediate thought is queen, but I don't know, says Sinister Agnes. Okay, so you have 3 for queen, 4 for queen, and a kind of 3.5 for Sinister Magnus. Pawn takes. Pawn to hold the attack on h6. I would only say pawn, like natural. So, believe it or not, they're both zeros if you take either way. But I took with the pawn, right? So, shout out to that. You guys said pawn. And the reason why is because I don't want a bishop e6. Like, I worked with a coach that says, I'm a fan of the tempo, right? And he was like, I never forgot what he said about that, right? He was just emphasized tempo so much. Now, of course, this is a tempo too as well. But what I'm saying is, like, even in reverse, that's the same way. So after queen takes d5, I hit the tempo, but then boom, counter tempo, right? Hits the queen. Okay, queen's check, right? Bishop d7, king f8. Sorry, queen d5 or something like that. King f8 is no good because we have bishop d7 we can play. But you just got to move the queen out the way. And I'm not really attacking you. Like, this is just super equal. I'm not a fan of this at all. Not a fan. Which is why knight a4 makes sense, but then I do have a knight on the edge. So knight d5. He takes. I take with the pawn so I can keep activity alive. If there's a queen a5, I just play king b1 or bishop c4, right? King b1, like Feingold says. After he takes d5, he goes a5. And this one, okay, Engine didn't like it, but also I'm cool with that too. Queen a5 was one that maybe we can talk about, but I do have king b1 in many cases. So he goes a5, right? a5. I still go king b1. Because I'm just like, always play king b1. Always play king b1. He goes bishop d7, right? Bishop d7. And it's white to move. Where do you go in this position, chat? Man, this game got crazy. This game, and believe it or not, it's like very equal. I mean, obviously, you have 2 bishops, 2 rooks, king. Everything's the same. There's no knights on the board. But it's white to move. What do you do right now? LJ, what's up? We're doing analysis US Masters round 2, December. It's the greatest tournament I've ever played. Especially playing 4 GMs in this tournament and scored very well. F4 for sure. F4 for Trevor. F4, what's up? What's up, Fabric? Looking at F4 myself, Moscow. Okay, F4, y'all boys. Swinging that or bishop E3. So basically pick up the bishop and put it back on the same square. That, I've never seen that move. Wow, that is like, I didn't even think of that one, bro. Oh, bishop D3. Oh, okay. Got it. Got it. Bishop D3 or F4, okay? Okay, so the problem with F4, right, It's still equal, and it's there's some initiative here, like for sure. And then go bishop d4, but it's not very clear. Let me see what it says. Yes, it's zeros. It's actually zeros here. I still prefer white, you know, because you have like all this play, but it's not that precise. Queen take, rook g1 gets the tempo. Correct. Correct. There's some rook g1, but also bishop g4 gets the tempo on my rook. I mean, okay, we can give that up, right? But here's what happened. I actually went rook g1 myself. In fact, because I'm like, I mean, I know you're gonna castle. Like you have to. You've lost your mind if you think you're gonna castle this way. Like, go ahead, please, bro. Just sign a score sheet when you do as well. Like, just already sign that way. But rook g1, right? So I think he's gonna go this way 9 times out of 10. Right. So after rook g1, he goes bishop g5. I was like, that's strong. That is a GM move. That was GM for sure. Bishop g5 was very strong by Brian Smith. Trying to trade out the dark square bishops, put his queen on g5 himself. I didn't like this. I didn't like this at all, in fact. So I go rook to e1, right? With the idea if it takes, right, I'm just going to take with the rook. And if queen g5, then I'll play queen f2 and play h4. This was my whole idea. All right, so after rook e1, he castles. And I'm like, all right, here we go. Here we go, chat. Here we go. And this is called magician, because in a few moves, you're about to see some magic, for sure. For sure. It's like magical. So he castles. I go bishop d3. This is an easy move to make, right? Diagonal. Very easy move. Bishop d3. He goes queen f6, which I figured he would play this, right? And after queen f6, chat, it's on you. Now, actually, let me tell y'all something. Back here, instead of playing rook g1, h4 is the better move, believe it or not. And h4 was giving it, with the higher depth, h4 was giving an advantage, which I saw, but I didn't like bishop takes h4, and I kept saying, oh, I go g5. But I couldn't, I for some reason, I thought he could take this. But he can't do it. Why can't he do this move, chat? Very simple. And in calculations, I missed this. But this was what I was supposed to do. And I saw this, but I saw this line, and I like discarded it for some reason. And I was like, oh, I just, for whatever reason, I don't know why. I see everything else, but just dismiss this one. Correct, Chad. It's bishop to g5. Bishop g5, and I'm just winning. Just winning. Look at all the pins here. So I should have went h4 in the game, but I didn't do it, because after here, even g5, and the reason why g5 wins is because, you know, it's very nice. It's like already +1. Plus 1.5, but after bishop takes, right, like you win some material this way too. So this was a very strong idea, but I just missed it. So that's why I went rook g1 to be able to play g5 at some point, especially when he castles. Right, interesting, right? So he goes bishop g5. I go rook e1. He castles. I go bishop e3. Queen f6. Right, and after the queen f6 move, chat, we reach this position. And what do you do, chat? What do you do right here? Wow. Yeah, this was crazy. Okay. My man said full sin. I wanted to play h4 for a few moves, says 555. Wow. I still like h4 here, Moscatel. h7. Still like h4. Bishop h7. King a1. Bishop h7, Trevor. I want you to look at this. And I want you to ask yourself, does this work at all?
He needs some milk.
I want you to ask yourself, does this actually work? Bishop h7. Yes. No, it doesn't. In fact. And after king takes h7, that's going to hurt. Especially in a classical game, Trevor. Classical game. When you play bishop h7, you might as well pause, stop the clock. Don't even let him take it back. Don't disrespect him like that. Bishop h7. Don't do that, Trevor. But it does look fun, right? It does look fun. But the move here, in fact, is h4. Now the engines say this is a question mark, but in practical chances, let me show y'all what I was doing here, right? Okay, so after bishop takes h4, what's my idea? What's my idea? What's the idea? He takes it. He definitely takes it. But what's the idea, chat? What's the idea? If the bishop takes h4, what is my idea? So I see queen g2, g5, push on, rook h1, g5. Correct, g5. But here's the thing, chat. Make sure you calculate. And this is some real COE, right? Some real COE. Right, shopcantymers.com. Calculate. After g5, he can take the rook and hit my queen. But watch this. In my calculations, I take yours back. Or I'll take your queen. He takes the rook first, and then he's hitting the queen. So I take his queen, he takes mine. I go rook g7. I saw this in calculation. King h2, and then simple move, I take the bishop back. Oh my goodness, bro, this is sick. So you can't go rook g8 because it's mates. Anytime you go rook g8, there's rook h7 mate, right? So you're tied down, which means my plan was this. Let's just make a few moves. Rook b8. I was going to take on h6. I'm just like literally like, what does he do? I can take here, and then he goes anything. I don't care what you do. I go rook h7, king g8, bishop g7, rook h8 mate. Oh my goodness, bro. Like, I'm telling you, bro, I was calculating. I was waiting for this. I was really hoping that he would go for something like this. This was a sick mate. This is very sick. It's beautiful, right? Absolutely, it's beautiful. After here, I take on d2. Right, his best move is e4. His best move is e4. And I knew this. Let me see the engine. Yeah, engine says e4, right? So after e4, the reason for this is because after e4 takes, then he goes rook e8, right? After rook e8, he now has to sack. He has to sack. He has to end up sacking. Right. So you have to find that. And if rook e8 immediately, bro, I play rook h7, king g8, and believe it or not, bishop e4. All of this was calculated, right? Then you play bishop h6 or bishop g7, rook h8 mate. This is so beautiful. It's so beautiful. But he didn't go for this at all. He didn't go for this. After g5, I was waiting, right? Please, bro, take it. Take my rook, bro. Please, bro. Take my rook, my guy. Just take it. And he didn't take it. I was also looking at queen f3. Queen takes f3 is really ridiculous. I mean, I go rook e to f, hit the queen. Queen goes somewhere, then I take on h6. This is, I mean, you'll take this all day for white. All day for white. All day. Right. There's like a rook e5 and some weird rook e5, rook e5, bishop f5. It's very strange there, knight. Okay, and knight, but you're right. Yeah. So what happens was after bishop takes h4, g5, he takes on g5. I take on g5, right? Again, right, if he takes on e1, even here, boom. Bishop takes f6. I'm hitting this. And y'all know, very familiar with this. After it takes, right, I go rook g7. This is just mate. Another mating idea. Another mating idea. Beautiful. Beautiful mating idea. Beautiful. So after bishop g5, he has to take my bishop. But at the same time, I am down a pawn. Obviously, I mean, he's a grandmaster, very strong. Brian Smith. You can even Google him. He finds the right line. Bishop takes, rook takes. He goes g6, and I'm like, bro, he found everything.
He needs some milk.
Bruh.
He finds everything, bro. Of course he does. It's a GM, so he finds everything, bro. And I was like, yo, I am like down a pawn trying to fight here. So remember, this is called Magician. Like, he found every move here to not allow counterplay. So I'm like, oh, this is annoying. So I go rook h1. I'm down a pawn, but I have an initiative. So I go rook h1, because I didn't know if it was rook g1 or rook h1. I go rook h1. He goes king g7. Tell me what the best move is for white right now, chat.
Bruh.
White to move. Let's see if you really calculate. That's all I'm saying. Are you calculating or are you not? Chat. Pause the video if you need to. Of course, this is for the YouTube people. But it's white to move here. I'm telling you, I stay in the lab calculating, chat. I stay in the lab. Rook g6, rook f5, queen h2, rook g1, rook g1, rook takes g5. Wow, take the shoot. Take my own rook. I didn't even think of that one, bro. That is sick. I didn't even think of that. Take my own rook. That's insane. Bishop f5, rook h5. Okay. Queen h2, resign. Rook h8 and cry. Okay. Rook 5 h5. All right. Here we go, chat. No one said it. Watch this. So, and let's actually go through all the lines, right? Let's go through all the lines. First off, you know, everybody can let's get to you're right, chat. Everybody do it. Oh, rook g6, you're right. Oh, rook f5. Oh, rook h7. Everybody get hit with the button.
Garbage.
Everybody.
Garbage.
E-
Garbage.
Everyone gets it. Everyone. No one said it. But let's take a look at why. Take a look at why. So rook f5. Okay, rook f5 doesn't work, right? Because of course I can do now. Believe it or not, I saw this line after g takes. I have a rook g1, and you can actually block with the queen. Believe it or not, even though I have this is not very clear. He got two rooks, queen, bishop, and he has a nice structure, and I can't get to the king and the bishop's block. Believe it or not, black is better. Black is better. So I didn't like this. I didn't like this at all. Right? Black is better, and I felt that. I knew that. Rook g6. I mean, come on, bro. What?
He needs some milk.
Like, what are you doing? After pawn takes, check. Okay, king f7, right? Queen h7, king e8, and you looking crazy. Oh, you get another pawn. Oh, that's cute. Oh, you got your little pawn. Okay, oh. And then king d8, and then, like, where's the rest of your pieces? Where's the rest of your attack? Hit the button. Hit the button. Hit the button on the clock. Sign the score sheet. Go get some lunch, bro. Go get some lunch. This is over. This is over. Didn't work. Didn't work. Rook h5. Rook h5. Huh. Right? What do? Now you got a file blocked, which means you have to take an extra move. If it works, cool. But if it doesn't, most times it doesn't, you're already in trouble. Right? Okay, I go rook g5 or something, right? Rook g5, rook g8, right? Rook takes, king g7, and I hide. And I'm out of here. Once again, doesn't work. Crazy. Rook h7, right? Let's take a look at that one. All right, rook h7, king takes. What is your next move? What, queen h2? First off, you don't even have nothing. Rook h8 is coming, right? I mean, like the first round with the uncomfortable stare when the guy was staring at me because he was mad because he was losing, right? I mean, this would be a stare that is justified because he like, what are you doing?
Bruh.
Yo, what are you doing? What are you doing? That's a stare that's justified. Rook h7 check. Okay, doesn't work. Rook h6 I thought about too as well, but he doesn't have to take it. He made it this far. He dodged all of my traps and tricks and tactics. He can go rook h8. Very strong grandmaster move. So none of these moves work. Let me tell you what does work. Chat, y'all ready for this? Are you ready for the move that I play? After this man played king g7, I played best move on the engine. Rook takes e5. Boy, I'm out here. COE. Get off me, dog. Rook takes e5. Rook takes e5. And rook takes e5. What a move. I get my pawn back. I get my pawn back. I get my pawn back, bro. I get my pawn back. Someone did say that, I think, but I think. See that rook takes e5? Oh, yeah, I didn't miss this completely, but if somebody said that. But rook takes, pawn takes, the idea here is obviously if pawn takes, you get mated. Like, come on, you're about to fall for that. You're about to fall. But what if queen takes? Correct, Cabalito. This is what I calculated in COE. Takes, check, king f6, right? And here, chat, the move that everyone is missing is f4. Oh my goodness, bro. This is the best tournament of my life, bro. Like, f4. I was like, I mean, I'm really, and this is a trajectory or like in a precursor of like, for what's to come, right? In my tournaments, obviously. But f4 is the move that you're missing. I sack a rook, and then I have to make a quiet move, f4. So if he moves his queen away, I at least have a perpetual because I was like, it wasn't going my way. He found all the right moves. Okay, whatever. If he goes like, for instance, queen here, there's a perpetual with queen g5 or queen h4. Queen g5, and then we just go back and forth. We just perpetual. I'm cool with that. Round two, beat a GM round one, draw round two with a G. Hey, I'm cool with that. I'm cool with that. Especially after he found all the moves, right? So that is one thing. If he moves the queen to e7, he actually completely loses the queen. Completely loses it, right? King g7, I take the queen, I win. Right, so you're very limited on spaces with the queen if you take this, right? Right, queen takes d5, correct. Fearless, right, says queen takes d5. But the problem with queen takes d5 is queen h4 check. Oh my goodness, make sure you're doing your puzzle rush. Bro, I was swinging. So if you put the king on e6, I mean, you might as well sign the score sheet. Ricky won, and you're done. King in the center of the board looking crazy. Bishop f5. This is over. This is a wrap. You got blocked with the queen, right? You can't go king e7, right? You have to go king g7, which again is another perpetual. If you go g5, right? I go f takes g5, and I thought about what if he runs away? If he runs away, king e7, I go g6, right? This is crazy. King e6, I still go rook e1 check. Still go rook e1. You can't go king d8, so you have to go king e8. King e8 here, and then I have bishop e4 at the very least. to pick up the rook, take on f7. This is crazy, chat. COE is a real thing. Y'all think this is it look good on clothing. It does. Absolutely. ShopCantyMerch.com. But at the same time, it's a real thing. You got to be calculating. So I saw this in calculations, right? So after I take on e5, what made me feel really good is that he played rook h8. How you, bro? It works. He didn't even take it. He was like, all right, I believe you, Jedi. I see you, Jedi. And he played rook h8. Now we go to this. We go to this here. Oh, f6, king e8, unclear. Actually, you know what's believe? Let's go through that line. That's actually a line. Let's go back, right? Rook takes e5, queen takes, check. King f6, f4, queen d5, queen check. Sorry. Queen check, g5 takes, king here, check, f6. So f6, I still have bishop e4 once again. I also have rook e1, and I have g7 with some problems, right? Like it's something. But you have a lot of initiative, and at the very least, there is bishop e4, g7. And you say unclear. That's very unclear. It's like, there's definitely stuff here. There's definitely stuff. Let me see. Engine says equal. Bro, equal. 0.67, actually. After bishop e4, it says queen g5, queen h7, king d8, and then take the rook. Yeah, take the rook. Yeah, I knew there was something there. It just says equal. Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy. Let me turn around. That's crazy. It says equal. But after, okay, so after we didn't reach it. Like I do rook takes e5, right? I do rook takes e5, and then after rook takes, he goes rook h8. So I go rook back to e1 because I did everything. I got the pawn back, and I said to myself, you know what? There's no way that there's a way. Like I studied a lot of in game. I've studied a lot of in game too. He takes on h1. I take back. He goes rook h8. We trade, and we reach this. And I'm like, if I lose this, I'm not coming out of my hotel room for a long time. I'm just gonna be sitting there studying Devereski in game manual, even though I've already studied a lot of it, right? Because this is, I mean, for here, like it's 5 versus 5. Okay. Yeah, you have 2 versus 1, but your king's weak. But I also have 3 versus 2 on the queen side, which usually is an advantage in games if you study them. So queen h6 check, king g8. And I was actually getting lower on time. Bishop e4, they didn't like this. They wanted me to go back to e3, but I was like, whatever. Bishop e4, make a quick move. Queen e5 or queen d4, I go b3, make some lift for the king. He can perpetual if he likes, but he doesn't want to. So he goes a4, and I'm like, what is this, bro? So I take first because I noticed, like, you can't make me. The c2 is defended all the time. C2 is 100% defended. So when I take, and which he takes back, I'm like, yo, there's no mates. You can check me back and forth. You can't do it with just the queen, right? I know you need the bishop, and the bishop is best right here, is what you're doing, trying to attack me, but that's already defended. And it's, at some case, I have bishop g6. So if you're not careful, I'm going to sack here and take a perpetual, and even take another pawn and take on b4 too as well. Right, so he played queen f4. I played queen f4. I forgot why I played this. f5. Oh wow, bro, I was thinking.
Bruh.
I was like, why did I play this move? Oh man, so that makes sense. Right after queen f4, I was looking at what if he plays f5. But after f5, this is like a voluntary hop into a pin because I was going to take this one, and then take this one, and then literally take this one, or even check him first just to see where he goes, and then queen takes pawn. Queen takes pawn, or pawn takes pawn, but really queen takes. I'm just like, if he ever goes, I can just perpetual this way. He ends up going this way. We take, and this is absolutely a draw. There's no way you can stop king b2 c3. I don't care if you get all the way over here. As soon as I go c3 or a3, it's a draw. Right, it's 100% a draw. You have one pawn, and I have c3 or a3 at my leisure after king b2. So it was very important to understand this. So I went queen f4, trying to bait him into f5. He goes check. He repeats once, plays something else. I take the pawn and realize this has to be, I can't be losing. So takes, it is equal. It actually preferred white by like 0.5. Not a white win. I mean, it's very, like, he played very good. King b2, f5, bishop b3. And here we are, Devereski in-game manual. You know what I mean? Right? This is 101 Devereski. You know what I'm saying? So after bishop d3, king f7, a3, take, and we reach this position. I know, and in games, one thing to notice, I've studied so many in games, but still, you need to keep studying. Chicken Pants, thanks for the 14. My man, Canty. What's up, Chicken Pants? This is round 2 U.S. Masters in Charlotte. I beat the GM round 1, and then round 2, I play another GM. This is the position we have on move 40. So I'm playing white. So after bishop d7, right, we have the 2 pawns, and I know, like, overall, it's good to have ideas. like overall idea. Overall, and this is if you can like start doing that in your own games, you will get better very quickly by looking at overall ideas. The overall idea is to keep these pawns active, get my king over here to this side of the board. If black is not careful, I can actually push for more. Right, king b4, right? Because I want to eventually get over here. Not only am I, this is like a Reddy's idea. If you guys are familiar with that, Reddy's idea, you can Google it if you don't know about it. But I'm getting closer to also helping queen this pawn, but also I'm getting closer to these pawns at the same time. So king b4, right? He goes g5, right? I go c4, right? So I can bring the king over here still as well. He goes g4, we take. Oh, sorry, take, and he goes e4, and I'm like, bro, oh my goodness.
He needs some milk.
Yo, this man's swinging, bro. Like he really trying to win this endgame. Because this is scary right now. This is quite scary, like, because he's gonna push f4 and then f3. So I'm like, oh snap, bro. Where do I move my bishop? But bishop e2 is a move. I didn't like it because I didn't like f4, f3. Then take this one, then push this one, and like I don't know if I'm actually like if I lose this, I am gonna flip the DGT board as an instinct, 100%. Instinct, flip the DGT board. So I play bishop to c2, right? So that if he moves a pawn, I take on e4, right? So he goes e3, which is the right idea, right? So then I'm going to bring the king back around. King c3, f takes g4. No way I'm losing this one. In fact, there is. In fact, bishop e4, he goes g3, and white to move, chat. Tell me, what do you do here, chat? What are you supposed to do right now? Just buy another one at Costco. Exactly, Mike. Just buy another one at Costco. They are there. It's white to move, chat. Please tell me, what do you do here? Bishop g2 from Jacobo. Bishop g2 from Knight. Nice job. Bishop f3. Okay. No king d3 because bishop f5. Black wins. Bishop f3, king d3, or c5. Says curious. Bishop f3 loses. c5. I'm looking at c5. So what I played in the game was c5. And it's funny, the engine doesn't even bring this up. They bring up d6, which is like, bro, are you kidding me?
Bruh.
What are you talking about? Bishop f3 is a move. And bishop g2. But what's funny is, yeah, he was setting a nice trap. If you looked at, I was in Chessable Masters. Shout out to Chessable Masters. I will be there actually this month as well. There was a game, I don't know if you guys remember watching, where Artemiev was just winning. And Magnus had this one last trick thing in an end game like this. Now, of course, this was before then, but this reminds me of that, where like Magnus just won the game off a stupid blunder of something like king to d3.
Bruh.
That's gonna hurt. That's gonna hurt, bro. Immediately he goes bishop f5. You're like, well, what's the problem with bishop f5? Well, if you take it, then how do you stop the queen now? Oh, you don't. You can hit the button. That's resign, that is. Right? You can just put your hand out, resign. Right? You lose. Okay, so what if I take the pawn? Then he takes the bishop, but then you're down a piece. And now you have to deal with this, and this is an easy conversion for black. You actually lose. After king takes push, you are too far away with these pawns. Wow. So you have to still be calculating even right here. After he goes here, he set a trap. I mean, it's a strong GM, bro. Definitely strong. Bishop g2 I wasn't a fan of yet because it's just like, I just wanted to be short. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to play c5. So if you're going to do anything, you're going to have to deal with these pawns first. Right? So after c5, he goes bishop f5 anyway. Anyway. Then I go bishop g2. He goes king e7. I go d6. He goes king e6. Right? And then I go bishop f3 and I offer a draw. And then he was like, all right, we'll take it. And I was like, bro, what? Because like this is, we're going to repeat here now. We're going to repeat. And this is all zeros. Everything's zeros here. It's going to repeat. And I could try king e5. Sorry, in fact, bishop f3. Like I just went bishop f3. And that's it. Yeah, I mean, you have to, like, there's no here. Like, you try to push on, right? And then you can lose the game, right? You're like, oh, draw, and then like, oh, let's try to play for a win, and then you actually lose the game because this is all zeros here. There's nothing you can do. There's two pawns versus two pawns. If you try to move your king too far, he queens. There's nothing you can do. Bishop h3 loses immediately. The bishop takes h3. Immediately. You push, king takes d6. Right, so that's in the original position. So you mean here, bishop h3? Where does bishop h3 work? Takes again. That one hurts. There's no bishop h3. Oh, black bishop h3. Where's that? Here? Bishop F3. Oh, Bishop H3 here. Bishop H3, King D3. Right? G2, I take. So no matter what. G2 takes. Let's draw anyway. Really draw. Woodpecker's great, but yeah. Right. Let's draw. It's another draw. But overall, this is a great game. I missed some chances, but I call this magician here because it was definitely some magic. Especially right here after rook takes c5. This was my favorite move of the game. Was right here, and I was like, yo, he's defended like an absolute beast. He found everything. And then I play rook takes e5, and he doesn't take the rook, is what really let me know. We calculate, chat. We out here. And he goes rook h8. He didn't even take it. And we ended up drawing the game, but I also had chances here with the h4 move, which is further up, which was here. Instead of rook g1, which was played in the game, h4 is better. Instead of rook g1, h4 was better, going with my first instinct there. That trick with king d3 is going to keep me up at night, terrified, because I would have auto king d3. Exactly, great. That's crazy. So this is, of course, guys, you know, I'm hot right now. I'm like, imagine how you feel, right? U.S. Masters, strongest tournament of the year. I play a GM the first round and I win. I play a GM a second round and I draw. I'm 1.5 out of 2 against Grandmasters, chat. And then we got round 3 coming up, which was another GM. So make sure you guys are subscribed to the YouTube channel, and I'll see you guys on the next one.